My name is Mike Bloomfield from APC Genius. Netgear, as a leader in the home networking space, have asked me to talk to you today about high-speed internet and wireless networking and how simple it is to set up in your home. In this presentation, we will establish and share a broadband connection with cable and ADSL, set up a wireless network, play music files on your stereo, and set up online gaming. Broadband, you've most likely heard about it. You're looking at either ADSL or cable, which are provided by telecommunications service providers such as Telstra and Optus. And now there are new services such as Unwired, which enable you to receive high-speed internet wirelessly. If you can get cable TV, you can get cable internet. You just contact the very same provider. And when they do a cable installation for us, we're supplied with a cable modem. ADSL comes through your telephone line. One of the benefits is that you can be on the phone whilst being online at the same time. BYO modems allow you to buy a device that suits your needs, whether you're connecting one computer or many, via wired or wireless. Wireless broadband is where I have a high-speed internet connection through a portable modem or PC card, and I can connect, for example, to my notebook. The speeds on this service are almost as fast as cable and ADSL. Portable broadband. Broadband services are quite cost effective now, so talk to your service provider about the best plan for you. There are a number of things to consider when you decide to share your internet connection. Wired versus wireless, distance and limitations, firewalls and security. Netgear has a range of technical support options to help you with your network. A router is a device that allows you to share one internet connection with many computers and peripherals. These days, additional functionality, such as a firewall for security and a wireless access point, are often found in the one unit. Routers connect to other computers through one of two ways. Primarily, through Cat5 or Ethernet cable, and we simply plug in to the back of the router and into the computer. Otherwise, we could use the wireless connection here. Just remember, if we decide to use the wired option, we will have the painful task of wiring all the computers around the house back to the router. Nowadays, we don't have to run cabling, as we can share the internet connection wirelessly to any number of computers around the home or office. And here are the benefits. All the family can share one connection. There's no need to cable through walls, roofs or floors, or go to the cost and expense of doing this. The shared connection means we only use the one internet account. Routers provide excellent security benefits. The firewall will stop other people coming into your computer and accessing data. You've got parental filters and controls to create a safe environment for the kids to surf the internet. We're going to show you how to set up 3 different installations: Telstra Big Pond cable, Optus broadband cable, and an ADSL connection, to show how we can share the internet and get email from the one connection. The great thing about wireless networks is they're easy to set up. Now we're going to take a look at a Big Pond cable internet setup with the router. When we get cable broadband, we're usually supplied with a modem, at the back of which we have 4 connections. Firstly, the mains power. Secondly, the cable connection itself, which should be connected to a socket in your wall. And thirdly, a choice of either a USB connection here or an RJ45 Ethernet cable to the computer. The important thing with a Telstra cable connection is to make sure you disconnect any existing Big Pond cable login and toolbar services from your system. Turn off your PC, reconnect the cable modem into the router and the router into the PC, and then turn on the computer. We can access the router. Type in the address 192.168.0.1. Type in your username and password, and the default password is simply password. We can tick a box to remember this if we need to change the settings in future. Now that we're in the router, the easiest way to configure it is just using the wizard. Click on Auto Detect. Have your login and password provided by your ISP ready. Next, click on Apply. We simply log out of the router and that is it. And to test the routers connected, simply click on Internet Explorer and there we have it, straight to the internet. To set up Optus cable, disconnect your modem and power off your PC. After connecting the two, power up your modem, then the router, then your PC, and simply type in 192.168.0.1 in your web browser and the wizard will automatically detect the dynamic Optus settings for you. You have now shared broadband internet around the house, setting up a wired network. Now, the ADSL service just runs through the line and is a permanent connection, always on, as we discussed. Now you can use your own modem instead of having to purchase one from the service provider. This is called BYO. In this case, we will use a router with a built-in modem. And if we look at the ports on the back of the unit, we have one place here, simply where the telephone line goes, because the modem's already in here. So it's easy. If we have the ADSL connected to the house, we just need to simply take this line and plug it in. There's just one place where that'll fit for the telephone line. The other 4 points here give me a way to connect computers to the router with a wired connection, and I'm going to use that initially to set this up. So on the back of my notebook here, I have an Ethernet port and just a straight through cable, just the same as it was connected before, is going to go to any one of those ports, simply like this. If we look at the lights on the front, we can see that the unit has power and there's a signal for wireless, and the eye introduces the fact that we have an internet connection. With ADSL, it's great to see a solid light here because that establishes for us that the connection is working readily and properly. Now we get into the router to put in our username and password simply by opening up an Internet Explorer homepage. Type in the address 192.168.0.1. Type in your username and password. The password is all lowercase, P-A-S-S-W-O-R-D. So I'm going to press OK, and all that does is bring up the screen inside the router so we can set it up. Comes straight up to a setup wizard and it's asking what country we're in. So we just need to change that. English is good. Auto detect connection type. This setup wizard can detect the type of internet connection you have. Do you want the smart setup wizard to try and detect the connection type now? Strongly recommend we use this. We're going to go next. Now the login here is referring to my username as an ADSL connection, and think of it like your email address or something like that. I'm going to type this in. It is important to get these two components absolutely right to get the ADSL up first time. So again, if you're not sure, just phone up the ISP and say, can you please tell me my username and password for the ADSL service? And now we just apply. And then it gives me an option at the bottom of the page there to check the connection status, and I'd like to do that, so I'm going to click on that button and it comes up clearly connected. So we close that window and then simply log out. And it is set up, so now if I go to the internet, it'll bring up a home page. There we go. Yeah, seems fine. That's it, that's the setup of the ADSL router. You may have noticed in your packaging a small ADSL filter like this. It is a must to put on any other telephony devices in the house, whether that be a standard remote telephone or fax. It's a must to have one on each line. Now we've had a look at the router setups for Telstra Big Pond cable, Optus cable, and we've just completed ADSL. Let's take a look at setting up the wireless features in the router. Oftentimes the router will just work, even having set up your username and password, but we're going to just take a look in there and change some of the settings. So we go back in the same way, 192.168.0.1. Remember that username and password for the device, lowercase admin, lowercase password. On the left-hand side, I've got Setup Wizard, Basic Settings, and we're trying to get to Wireless Settings. In the SSID field, you will need to name the network. This can be called whatever you like. Then set the country and click Apply. This has now been set up and you can log out of the router. And what we'll do now is look at a way of connecting this laptop wirelessly to the device currently. As you can see, I've still got cables here, and I want to get to a place where I can move around the house with the laptop. You can use either a built-in wireless connection if available, or a PC adapter. Now the thing with any wireless adapters when you go to set them up is to read in the instructions whether you're meant to load the software on first or after installing the card. If you can just get the order right, again it'll be a breeze to set up, and in this particular case they've asked us to put the software on first, reboot the computer, and then place the adapter in the PC. A box will come up on the screen saying that an adapter has been detected. Once we've loaded the software, in the bottom right hand corner you'll see two computers talking to each other, and if you click on that icon and click on View Available Wireless Networks, as remember there may be other people with wireless devices around, you'll get a list of the different routers or access points, and the one that we named comes up here and an option to connect to it, and we simply click on Connect. That says signal strength excellent, and now we're able to browse the internet wirelessly. There we go. Let's take a quick look at the security options. Whilst you're on the wireless settings page, there's a heading there, Security Options, including WPA, MAC and WEP. Your manual will have further details about these options. Great, so now we have the network set up, and how easy it was to do. This means that all the computers around the home and office can access the internet. So now we have our wireless network in place and our computers can talk to one another. Guess what? We can get a wireless music player and add it to our entertainment system so that we can access music stored on any computer from around the house. And now there are hundreds of sites where we can legally download exceptional quality music for free, like mp3.com. The music player is very simple to set up. All we have to do is place the wireless music player next to our hi-fi system. Then simply plug in the cables provided into the input system on the hi-fi, and then connect the power to the box and power it up. We configure this device just like we configured the other PCs onto the wireless system using the software provided. Once we've downloaded the music and it's sitting on our computer, we can use the remote to select music by artist, album or genre, or we can create our own personal playlists. If you have a number of stereo systems in the house, then wireless music players can be connected to each system and individually set up and configured to play your taste in music. So this is great for the kids, teenagers and the whole family. So sit back and enjoy your favourite music. Now that we have the broadband connected, we can do some online gaming, both in the traditional sense of playing online games with other people across the internet, but also with the exciting new console games from both Sony and Microsoft. Let's take a look and see how we can set them up. This is to show how we can set up a gaming console online so that we can play with other people with the same consoles anywhere around the world or in different parts of the country. Xbox has an Ethernet point built into the unit. For PS2, you may need to purchase a network adapter. Alternatively, Using a Netgear adapter will enable you to connect to the network wirelessly. And you simply configure this as you would a PC before you plug it in. So with wireless networking, the opportunities are endless. You can be doing business from the garden, taking and getting emails from anywhere around the home or office. Download your favourite music and play it through your stereo.
I didn't know just what
You can play those online games, your favourites with anyone from anywhere around the world. And of course with Netgear products you get great technical support, comprehensive warranties, and the products are easy to use and install. Networking wirelessly, it is easy.